is our first year of bringing you to the very edge of your seats with the very best of what video, games have to offer. And I am very, very proud to have you here on this very journey with me. And with that, check a look.
I was talking about excited to have this on you with this very, very journey with me. What?
Hello. Welcome on in, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Valhalla's Most Wanted Podcast. Woo! If you've never heard of us before, which is well, who knows? We are Valhalla's Most Wanted. We are a streaming community here on Twitch. We talk about all sorts of things every other Sunday. And my name is PlatinumTrophyWife. I am your host, and I have with me today.
Hey, I'm Grey Wolves Gaming's Forehead. I'm the co-host. How are you doing? Yeah, that's starting to hurt. Hi!
I am the GrayLord, the Twitch's favorite psychologist.
Nice.
And I am TotallyCereal, the fastest growing balding ginger on all of Twitch.
We have another fellow ginger who's an actual ginger today.
Ooh.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
Very exciting, guys. So
Am I the only not, gingery-ish one here right now?
I mean, it's
Is
only a
GrayLord
ginger
ginger?
beard. I'm all bald, so.
all bald? Family-friendly stream. So having a great time today. Good morning to you all, and we were going to talk about a little thing, as we are a small... Wait, is that the proper term?
We're
all
streamers.
we're all growing
Oh,
streamers. We're all growing streamers and a growing streaming community and a growing
PG
stream
PG stream.
platform.
As somebody who's 6'3", I've never been called small. That's just not...
So, yeah. TotallyCereal, why don't you take it away? This was your topic, so by all means.
All the pressure's on
Put me
me.
Talk
right
about
on
it.
the spot right away. I love it. So, we all love the internet, right? And we all love how everyone's fuse on the internet is super short. So, upon scrolling this week on said interwebs, there were a bunch of people outraged because Twitch has been trying to work on helping out smaller communities, people that maybe only have 2, 3, 5, 10 people watching, and Twitch is like, hey, let's help these people out. Well, that was not good enough for a lot of the angry people of the internet, because heaven forbid they used the term small to describe their communities. So just a bunch of tweets I saw that they assumed size. They said that I was a small streamer. I was personally offended.
Wow, that's
And
rude.
there were probably 5 or 10 threads I had seen that were, we should be labeled as growing or coming, not small, because that's derogatory. You can't use that. That's trying to bring people down. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, I
there's
had no
that.
idea this was an issue, because I use that term all the time to describe myself and others. I had no idea it was offensive.
I'm always saying, part of the House Most Wanted, we're a group of small-time streamers. I say that all the time.
Yeah. Even our big streamers are pretty small, so it's and we're like, oh my god, you got 75 viewers, yes! We're so excited, and it's technically in the pool of that is Twitch, that we are all very small-time streamers.
Man, when I reach double digits, I'm like, yes, I made it.
I know.
We made it.
Every time
We did it, Reddit.
we get to double digits, I'm just like, oh my god, it's happening. I'm partnered.
Mom,
Well,
I'm
and
quitting my job.
My favorite thing about this is it's only because of the context. If you were to gather 10 to 15 people into a room to watch you play video games in real life, that's a big group. That's a party.
That is a very big group.
That's a good point, too.
So I guess we're all on the same page that the internet is whack, and we all are A-okay with small streamers.
I'd be curious as to how this started. I'm curious if someone was legit pissed off, initially.
Yeah.
Someone was just trolling, or if someone was just like, hey, I appreciate you giving us views, but I think this would probably be better terminology. I guess someone was being constructive. Like, I'm curious of where it all started, because it'd be clear that it's escalated to just people being pissed off, but I wonder, like, how it began. Like, if it was, like, constructive, pissed, or trolly.
I'm assuming they were actually pissed. That would be my go-to. That they were actually upset. That they're like, excuse me, I have 12 viewers. I'm growing. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it went, and it was a male streamer.
Viewer in the last 3 months. I'm growing. Gosh.
I've been streaming for over a year and a half. Okay, I'm growing.
Like, who saw themselves on the front page of Twitch and went, oh my god, they called me small, those sons of bitches.
I 100% it wasn't someone on the front page. It was somebody who was like, how dare you not include me on a term that I find offensive?
Well, and even there's what if you had hit 40 and you're on a decline for the moment, and you're back down to 20, and then you see yourself on that page. It's like, oh man, I could see how that might be disheartening a little bit, but not like, unless I'm really entitled, not rage, not like, how dare you?
So for those who may be just popping in, we're talking about on the front page of Twitch now there is a category of small streamers, and so it's to promote going to smaller streams,
which is where we're live right now. No,
which is where we're live on the front page, guys. But yeah, and people were, I guess, really, really offended, and there was a Twitter war about it. So that's so interesting. Has anyone, because before you brought this up, Totes, I didn't even know that existed on the front page. When I go to the front page, I immediately go to following.
See, I don't even go to the front page. My bookmark goes straight to following, and it goes to following/live, because I don't even want to see who's hosting. I just want to see who I'm following.
I want to see that shit. Don't give me that. I want to know who's live.
Because when it first loads up, let's say there's 15 people live, it'll show you the 15, and then the page refreshes, it shows you 8, and then you can click on more.
Yeah.
And that process annoys me, so I want to just show me that.
Wait a minute, your guys' Twitch link doesn't automatically populate twitch.tv/PlatinumTrophyWife? That's not everybody?
My auto, though, because when I type it in, I do have to hit the down arrow once, but it goes straight to my dashboard. And then I do all my stuff.
I don't type. I got a bookmark. I had a button to click.
Oh, no. I type TWI down key. It's real fast.
TWI down key. Right now, that goes to Twitch Val's Most Wanted.
Right where it always should, honestly. Type in, okay, everybody who's here live on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch us live on Twitch /Valhalla's Most Wanted. But yeah, everybody in chat right now, type in TWI down key 1. See, I want to know what everyone's go-to is.
Your autocomplete.
I want to know.
My autocomplete actually goes to a streamer called Incon, but if I head down, it goes to this.
Yeah.
Right now.
I want to know. Sorry. So, all right. I think we're all on the same page there. Anything else about this small?
Well, where's do we know the data to where's the cutoff? At how many? Is it based on followers, viewers? How do they determine if you are in this category?
From what I've seen, let me just go in here right now.
Or is it just all affiliated people who aren't partnered?
That's what I would imagine. Because then they have of course, if you're partnered, you can qualify for front page time and that. But just going on there right now, there's someone with 35 viewers, there's someone with 26, and there's 10 and 12. So even at that, I wouldn't. I guess in my mind and my reasoning, I wouldn't even qualify that as a small community. I guess for me, I'm thinking for me when I think of small, it's 5, 10 maybe. I don't know, anything less.
Honestly, I think that's really cool that they're doing that small, actually, because I thought for sure you were going to be there's the lowest one was 45. I thought for sure you were going to say that.
Yeah, the range I see right now is from 9 to 26.
I think that's a good range, actually, because the 0 to 5 is You got to work out some kinks, I think, in that stage. I don't know. Like, I think it's really, you like do a lot of learning in that stage, and like you have to learn how to talk and to yourself and stuff like that. Like, I feel the more people you have in your chat, the easier it is to stream.
Or it's just a slow stream day.
Absolutely.
For 4 months in a row.
I'm talking about.
No.
I was literally just gonna be like, well, like 30-day average though. Like if you're, and then he's like 4 months in a row.
Let's see. What's my 30-day average? What do we? Let's take a look.
Oh my gosh. No, but I think it's really cool that Twitch is even doing it at all, because
I agree.
they have been, especially to a streamer. I don't know about. I'm not gonna talk for you guys, but like. It does feel so much more partner heavy of like, oh yeah, we only care about these people, or if you're doing like 100 viewers concurrently. So it's really nice that they're trying to be like, no, look, there are other quality streamers. I wonder if they notify you the way they do on the front page, because they'll like notify the streamer and be like, you're going to be on the front page.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
That is interesting, yeah.
So it's like, how do they even find these people?
I assume probably not. Only because, like, let me refresh. Because if I refresh, the people I see differ.
And well, and the specific verbatim for it, too, is smaller communities recommended for you. So, like, I've been streaming a lot of DBD recently. So I have a lot of, like, Dead by Daylight streamers, or, like, people that I watch that play, like, Sea of Thieves. I've been watching a lot of people that play Sea of Thieves. So I have a lot of Sea of Thieves and, like, Dead by Daylight stuff. So... It's not just like a random, hey, here's this just chatting person doing, drinking for subs and that. It's, oh, this person's playing Dead by Daylight.
Yeah,
cool. That's
like cool that it's recommended. So then they must not notify them for sure.
And the fact that I watched a lot of GDQ is really screwing with my recommended, because I don't know why some of these are up here.
You're like, can I downvote some of these people? Can it be like Netflix where I'm like, no, I didn't like that streamer?
How disheartening would that be if you got that feedback?
They downvoted you. You got 30 downvotes today, but hey, you were on the front page of 30 people. Keep up the good work.
Have fun being on the front page in 2020.
Well, and the irony being, like, TotallyCereal does things that are become more trolly. Like, there is that element of you do want people to... Sometimes you want people to cringe, right? I watched
I cringe.
I've watched as
wow.
Some people have hosted other people I was watching, and I went and checked them out, and they were very, very trolly. Like, they're watching TikTok and talking about the 13-year-old children on Twitch, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this.
TotallyCereal, I have your next stream idea.
That's the whole stick.
It's called TotallyCereal Goes to Prison.
It's a whole series, guys.
But yeah. So you're saying, go ahead, GrayLord, you were saying.
That's basically the whole idea. Just that the whole stick of some streamers, I'm not saying it's TotallyCereal, is that idea of let's make people cringe. And that would just get a lot of downvotes just because that's the type of people they're bringing in.
Yeah.
Even though that's also going to drive up, ironically, the number of views they're getting.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot more too, which is really nice. Like, if you just go on there, oh, hey, look at that. Live channels you may like. Look at that. It says Valhalla's Most Wanted. But you can...
no shit.
For me, it's tailored for me, of course. I got to click that button real quick. But you can go through and, like, categories you may like. And you can go through and you can say that you're not interested in that streamer or that category, and it just hides it. And then I think they're trying to pull like a YouTube thing. Yeah, I think they're trying to do more like a YouTube thing where it's like, we're trying to keep you on the site as long as possible. So if this streamer goes offline, here's some other people that stream similar stuff or content, or maybe they watch TikTok all day. But,
I didn't even know that was a thing. I see those ads all the time, and I'm always like, "Fucking go away!"
Yeah,
it's just
TikTok
some random people with a filter on and obnoxious voices.
Musically 2.0.
My whole community absolutely loves it. If anyone ever says that we hate the TikTok videos, they're lying, because they love watching it so much.
Wow.
This is a complete side tangent. Someone mentioned Netflix earlier, and
Yes.
my biggest pet peeve is I cannot remove things from continued watching manually.
Oh yeah, I hate that too. That's like
I
that's
have the
worst.
opposite problem. Like, because I'll fall
Can't add
asleep.
things?
Because I'll fall asleep and it'll be the finale and they'll take it off of my continued watching. And I'm like, no, I'm not. So then I have to search for it again or find it in my list, which is stupid because I have like 1,000 items there. And so I have to search for it again, go back to like 3 episodes back because you watch like 3 episodes before it turns off. And then, like, watch it. And then I'll fall asleep again, and they'll take it off my continued watching again.
Yeah, but that's not a Netflix issue. It's a you issue. As far
No,
as
it's
Netflix
a
is
Netflix
concerned,
issue. I'm still
it doesn't
watching.
It doesn't know you didn't finish it. It saw you
Well,
go
it
from beginning
should.
to end, and when she's done, you're like, I fell asleep, Netflix. Are you not watching me?
I want it to know when I fall asleep.
So,
Do you?
I don't.
Big
I
Brother,
don't.
do we think Netflix watching us back is a positive or a negative, guys?
It's a
Comment
negative,
down below.
but it's still really frustrating. I hate it because it's like I get to the end of a series and I'm just like, oh no, here we go again.
Just plug in your Alexa to your Netflix. That way, Alexa, since it's already listening, will tell Netflix when you're snoring,
Oh god.
so it knows to stop.
I don't snore.
And I mean, with the FBI already watching me, I mean, Netflix can watch me too. That's fine.
What is on your Netflix right now, guys? What are you watching right now?
I
Office.
just finished The
Open
Fix.
I just started The Fix, and I had to stop because I want to make my wife watch it because I think she'll enjoy it. But I love Jimmy Carr. I love British humor. Continue.
Continue.
Yeah, MA warning, because some of the stuff they talk about is like, oh, okay, now we're talking about this. But the comedians' take on solving world issues like AI, global warming, very complicated issues, and they're, oh yeah, we got this, easy, is funny. And they have some good points, and they bring in some data, which is I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm addicted to British panel shows.
I like
Love that.
QI and
Yep.
the Big Fat Quiz Show of whatever
Oh my
year.
God,
So
I
that's
haven't
gonna be
watched-
coming out soon.
It should already be out. It usually comes out like around Christmas time. I just haven't watched it yet. It almost always pops up on YouTube. I just
Oh,
haven't
it's
done it
my
yet.
favorite yearly
Um,
tradition now.
Would I lie to you?
You're lying?
It's really good. What?
You're lying?
No, that's another British panel show. Would I lie to you?
Oh, yeah.
That is a funny one.
You haven't even said
You're
anything.
lying. Oh, so good.
To answer your question, yes, I think you would lie to us, Wolves.
I would. And I'm not saying,
Unbelievable.
I'm not disagreeing.
My
Oh
goodness
my.
gracious.
I have like so
Uh.
many shows I've started and haven't finished. The Fix, Supernatural, She-Ra, Ryan Regan, Castlevania, Bodyguard. And
Su-
I watched this is what brings it up. I watched the stupid fireplace thing for like 5 minutes once because I needed it for something. And I was just been sitting in my continue watching for like a month.
Just
I
fast
really wanna
forward to the
finish-
end and then let it go.
I did. And it still thinks there's last 30 seconds I want to watch. It just sits there.
Maybe because they know better than you. They're like, you need this.
You know
We've
what?
seen
You're
us
gonna want to come back.
You-
The finale is lit.
The beginning of the credit roll, amazing.
Oh my god, that was so good. I like that. Well done. You win today. You win.
You win today. Oh my goodness gracious. Quick question from our chat. Does anyone know if the small streamer communities thing is only on desktop? Because we're having troubles finding it on mobile. Does anyone happen to know?
Imagine.
We have people looking into it right now.
I would guess. I mean, it makes sense. You want to streamline things for mobile just to make it quicker and faster. So having less recommended things makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
from what I'm
almost never
seeing on mobile,
use
you can
the
only
Twitches app. So I don't know.
you can only filter like the games and then
I didn't even know it was on
Like,
desktop, so.
Which kind of makes sense.
I'm like, really?
To me, I use mobile for
No, it's there.
watching-
If you go to Discover, small communities recommended for you.
There you go.
Nice. I use mobile to like watch this show, or if I'm falling asleep and I want to hang out with somebody who's still on, that sort of thing. So part of it makes sense that it wouldn't be there, but It is. So disregard.
Yeah, like I said, I was not expecting to find it. I thought they would
me
just not have
neither.
it.
So now confirmed on the mobile app and the desktop browser. Which probably
Hashtag
means it's
confirmed.
on the desktop app. I'm assuming.
Which
But
in of itself is a really good way for people like myself that kind of get intimidated to go into a new channel to try to find people to like network with or just to go in to hang out with.
That's
Because
what I
I know
was
a lot
thinking.
a lot of people don't like the whole like. A few people said it in chat earlier, but they don't like going into big streams, and I'm kind of the same way. I will only go into a couple big streams with like 500 plus if I know that their communities are chill or people that I've been following for years. But if you're just looking for people to network with or just to relax and chill for the rest of the night, it's a great way to find other people too.
That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. It sounds really good, actually. Like, not only because it's recommended for you, but also the viewer base that they're kind of centering on. The, like, what did we say? It was pretty much like 9 to 40 something? Or 9 to 20 something?
Yeah,
That I've seen.
I would
Yeah.
assume it's just not partnered. Anything
Yeah, that'd be
below
my
75.
guess. They probably
Yeah,
have
but
some
there's
other
like
hidden.
people with 75 viewers who aren't partnered, so I'm just like, okay.
I mean,
would
I
definitely-
assume there's probably some hidden guidelines we don't see, like must stream X amount of time, must do this, like there's probably all these like hidden algorithms that we don't see.
Right.
But I assume it starts with the overarching not partnered is affiliate, and then it does various algorithms from there.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be my guess.
So, guys,
Nice.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's 2019.
Oh,
Since when?
yeah.
I know. It's crazy. So, last episode, if you guys were so lucky to be here, 2 weeks ago. This is the first time that we're doing it every other Sunday, so this is kind of a big deal, guys. So last episode, we talked about all the best and worst of 2018.
Would you say bi-weekly or bi-monthly?
I would
How would
say
you describe it?
bi-weekly. Both are correct as far as I've heard
Yes.
grammatically. I
They
would
are.
say bi-weekly, though, because that would make more sense to me. Bi-monthly
There's-
seems like it's every 2 months.
Yeah, bi-weekly, bi-monthly. So bi-weekly both means twice a week and every 2 weeks. Bi-monthly both means twice a month and every 2 months.
That feels like an unhelpful word.
Yes.
It is.
That's why I
it
say
is.
every other Sunday.
I learned this in college when I didn't turn in an assignment because the syllabus said like we had to turn something in bi-weekly. So the teacher meant twice a week because we had class twice a week. He wanted like a small written article every class.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you want an article every 2 weeks. That seems okay. And I didn't turn it in, so I got to debate with the teacher. Ever since then, I've been...
You're like, what do you actually mean in
Yeah.
the English language? Can you use other English words to make sure I know what this English word means?
Bring in synonyms, please.
Country of origin.
Can you use it as actually don't do that?
How many letters?
But yeah, no, it's 2019. We talked about the best and worst of 2018, so we're gonna talk about like the kind of best and worst of 2019. Kind of like what we're excited about. Like, has anyone broke their New Year's resolution already?
That's...
So excited!
That would be the worst part of 2019. We're starting with the bad so we can get to the good.
Apparently your husband has.
Yes, in the chat, I've already seen people saying, yes, I have. I think Fat Mike Tizzle, my husband, broke his, like, literally the first day. If I remember correctly.
I mean, I've been going well. Like I said, my goal is to keep track of any media I've consumed. Book, movie, TV show, like any game I've played, like keep a whole list, rank them, and at the end look at everything I've played and rank them. So
Yeah.
I've been doing that.
That's all. And you said you wanted to read more books, I think you said?
Yeah.
Before the podcast started?
Yep.
Any book in particular that you're like, I gotta read this book?
Well, I mean, it's not out yet, but I really need to read the third book in the Kingkiller Chronicles. However,
Okay.
what is out is Brandon
Yeah.
Sanderson released the third book of the Stormlight Archive, which I still need to read.
Nice. But the Kingkiller Chronicles probably won't come out for like, it could never come out.
I mean, it'll come out at some point. It is technically a finished book, so even if he passes away, I'm sure the publisher will be like, here's what he wrote, it just hasn't gone through however many iterations he wants to do of corrections. Like, there is a finished book.
It is
He
done.
he likes to tweak it and rewrite it and go back, and he's been doing that for a while. But there is technically a finished book out there. It's just not at the level he wants.
Nice.
So if something was happening, I'm sure it could show up.
I think Wolves has hit upon a perfect New Year's resolution loophole. Do things, put resolutions on your list of things that haven't come out yet. I'm going to beat such and such game. And then
I have a resolution
if it doesn't happen.
completely
Exploits.
depends on other people. So that way when they fail, it's not my fault.
Listen, I did my part, guys.
I tried.
I resolved.
I was here and alive. So what happened?
Hacks.
Notes for next year.
That's funny. My biggest resolution is to get down in body fat, which I have not been doing well at. I've still been doing my walking, which is cool, but I haven't been working out and I haven't been eating well, and that has to do with not going shopping in an orderly fashion. So you can kind of say like I failed, but
But you have a hardline criteria, right? You have like a set mark you want to reach.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you still have all year. We really
have all
won't know
year.
we won't know if you failed until past or failed until it gets closer.
Yeah.
If your goal is just to simply lose body fat, you're like December, like down 0.2, success.
Yeah, no, I have a specific number that I want to get to that I'm not close to, and so I do have to work at it, and I haven't been working at it, so the progress is not going well, but I mean, it's only been 2 weeks. Whatever.
We're only at 26th of the way through the year. You got this, Plat. I believe in you.
Got it. It's cool.
My resolution is similar. It was to walk a mile more days than not this year, and I'm at about a fourth of the days. So I'm currently failing, but I can't fail until we hit 100 and the 184th day of the year if I don't walk again this year. So
That's not bad. That's not bad.
plenty of time to come back.
Plenty of time. You got this. I didn't even really make like a resolution per se this year.
I thought you had a tweet about it.
I had more like, I guess they're like goals, so to speak.
Yeah.
I guess out of all of them,
counts.
Isn't that what a resolution is?
New
It's a
Year's
goal?
resolutions are goals for yourself.
I guess one of them that I wanted to really focus on was not being as hard on myself, because I am my own biggest critic when it comes to like streaming or just like life in general. It's a lot of, I guess stuff that goes into play for that, but that was my biggest thing that I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
Well, and the long-term negative effects of negative self-talk can just be devastating to us overall. And that's for a different streaming podcast.
That'll be a $20 donation
I
to
was gonna
GrayLord
say.
for
Links on my channel.
He's gonna charge us for having him on the podcast.
Don't ask him about like life, well-being, mental health.
Yeah. But guys, in the chat live, I would love to know if you guys have already failed. I saw a lot of people say that they haven't. So if we could make a poll really quick, I would love to know who has already failed their New Year's resolution.
Dragon wants to read 150 books.
Dragon Girl.
Book every 2 days.
I would
has
be worried,
read-
except she's already read 30.
Yeah.
10.
She
But which is a book every other day. She's on pace.
Yeah, she has read 100 books every year for the past, I don't even know, probably decade. And, like, she is such a reader. It's amazing.
I think
she's
the
my hero.
most I ever reached in a year was just under 50. Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing 100 every year. Like,
Oh, I know. She reads a lot. It's amazing. My highest, I think, was 42, because I remember being like, oh, I was so close to 52, and that would have been a book a week. And I was so proud. I remember I talked to Dragon, like, and it was like one of the first times that I talked to her, and I'm like, oh, I'm a reader too. And then she was like, oh, really? How many books have you read? And I was like, well, this year I've probably read 6, but like my most is 42, and I was so freaking proud. And then she's like, I read 100 every year. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
I'll go back
It's
to
like-
my graphic novel.
it's like being like, yeah, I read the newspaper. You have the funny pages open every week.
Newspaper, what's that?
Exactly. It was eye-opening. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's fun to talk to Dragon about. It's nice because literally almost any book, she's probably read it or heard about it. So it's really fun to talk to her about it. So, New Year's resolutions, guys, make sure you vote in the poll. I want to know if you guys have failed, if you guys have succeeded, or you're succeeding, or you're kind of like GrayLord and I, where we don't know if we failed until our deadline.
Games of the year.
Yeah. Most anticipated game of the year. Sequel, prequel, franchise, etc.
So let's start with sequel prequels.
Sequel prequels? That's cute. Oh. That's different from franchise. Got it. Sorry.
It is. I had to ask clarifying questions as well.
Okay, so for chat, the reason I separated sequel prequel from like franchises is games like Final Fantasy or games like Fire Emblem, where they all fit this rubric, but they're not related to each other. So they're not really a sequel. They're just in a franchise of games. So in my mind, they're separate. Or even things like Bloodborne to Dark Souls. Bloodborne is technically different, but it's still just a Blood Souls game. Like, it just fits this.
It's still a part of the franchise.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's why I separated those personally. But
okay. No worries. So prequel, sequel, what are we most excited for? TotallyCereal, why don't you start us off?
Man, there's one for sure, and I'm sure Platt would agree. It's not confirmed, but I'm very certain that it will be The Last of Us 2 whenever it comes out.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think that's this year.
It very well could be 2020. So to fit the question for games that we absolutely know, we're only a few weeks away. Kingdom Hearts 3, that's 100% dead set coming out no matter what, because there's a lot of other rumors for other games like The Last of Us, but the 100% that I know is coming out, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Nice. So you're gonna stream it day one when you get it?
I'm gonna wait.
You are gonna wait? Me too.
Yeah, I'm trying to not.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to wait to hold off, but I know spoilers. I'm probably gonna get spoiled.
Yeah.
Knowing Twitch, like.
Well, and that brings us to an interesting question, because how much do we want to talk about what makes us excited about these games versus not wanting to spoil ourselves and each other?
It depends on the game.
Yeah, I mean, with Kingdom Hearts 3, I mean, if you've played 1 and 2, you know roughly what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Although I was listening to a PlayStation podcast, and they were talking about, like, gameplay in Kingdom Hearts, and like, new stuff that they were doing, and I was just like, skip!
Yeah, like, I will admit, I know nothing about any new game mechanics that might exist. Like, I've seen trailers, so I know, like, some of the Disney franchises that are being brought in, but I know nothing about actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the big thing for me that I'm looking forward to in it, is that there's, without disclosing, there's a lot more movies that I personally grew up with in these ones than in previous titles where I've watched them, but I didn't grow up with them, so to speak.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm in my mid-30s. I grew up with all the old ones too. I specifically remember like going to my grandmother's house as a kid, and she had the VHS, and she'd always buy the new movies when it came out on VHS, because that way they would always be around for like grandkids and great-grandkids. And like, so
they'd always be around.
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are on my list of games to eventually go back and play for my official gamer card. But
That's fair.
Looking at 3, the movement looks pretty like fresh, and so I'm excited about it, even though it will be a long time before I ever get to it.
Yeah. I almost want to replay the first 2 before I do the third one.
So I'm gonna post something in chat. So for anyone who's played the games and doesn't want to go back, or even if you want to go back, the video I posted is from game trailers before they went under, from a series they were doing called Timeline, where they'd look at a series and they'd go through excruciating detail the timeline of the series and explain it. So it's about 53 minutes long, but it explains the timeline and history of Kingdom Hearts.
I love it.
You should do a side-by-side with Donkey's video doing that exact same thing.
Yes.
Donkey is great. As much as he screws around, surprisingly accurate.
That was the whole joke of the whole video. Donkey was, he says the whole story, and it like, there was very little jokes, and it was like, no, this series is that stupid.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
So I recommend watching that. But yeah, no, I would agree with Cereal. If we knew Last of Us 2 was out this year, it would be on my list because it's in the air. I'm leaning towards probably Kingdom Hearts 3. But there are a couple other noteworthy games. Crackdown 3 is coming out. I know people are excited for that. Also, Terry Crews is the main person, so hell yeah,
Right.
Terry Crews.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Devil May Cry 5, Doom Eternal, next Doom. Back to old games, Psychonauts 2 is coming out.
I heard
So
about
which
that
are
as
you
well.
listing as your most anticipated game?
Mine is still Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I'm still very much looking forward to that. But there are, like I said, there were other noteworthy games. I'm surprised, like, Psychonauts 2 is coming out. Like, I love the game Spelunky, and there's a sequel coming out to that. So there's a lot of good games coming out, but for me, Kingdom Hearts 3 is still my top list.
I'm actually surprised as many people are excited about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I've been like holding a locket for Kingdom Hearts 3 for like so long that like now I was ready to be like, it's never coming out. And now it's here and I'm like,
Half-Life
no,
3 confirmed.
You died. Like, and now you're back and you're like, I'm supposed to take you back now? Like, and then everyone else is like, no, be together. And I'm like, no.
You're like, yes.
So it's just crazy. I'm
What
just
about you,
surprised
Gray?
people have kept up with it because it's just been so long.
Well, but it hasn't been so long. They've released 2.1, 1.7, 6.15.
No,
like,
those aren't games. Like,
365 and a half.
there's a reason why people have said there hasn't been a new Skyrim game.
what about you,
Skyrim
GrayLord?
VR.
What's yours?
For me, some of this is tough because the game I'm most excited about, I also haven't played the sequel for, because I'm a economic gamer. Oh, a game came out 20 years ago? Yeah, let's get it.
Play.
However, I fell in love with the soundtrack for Doom. I love watching people play it. The movement and the intense combat. It came out at a time when everybody was cover-based shooters, and they were like, no, why would we hide? We're the Doom Slayer. Let's go kick some demon butt.
Yeah.
And so, having watched the trailer for Doom Eternal, I'm like, yep, more of the same. Let's do it. The movement mechanics look hype. It's got a left and right dodge that I've already seen, and it's like, I know perfectly dodging an alien attack with that move is like, would be so satisfying. So I may have to break down and get Doom Eternal because it looks fresh.
Nice.
Is
still
it
haven't played
certified
the
fresh?
other Doom.
What'd you say, Wolf?
I said I still haven't played the other Doom.
I haven't
It's
played
so
any
good.
of the Dooms, but I
But
did
it's so
watch
good.
GrayLord play Doom.
But talking about the dodge mechanics, I know for a fact I would dodge into attacks.
Dodge
Just-
into.
Not on purpose, just be like, oh my god, an attack! Dodge! It's like, oh, it's coming. My bad.
Yeah. Same.
It's
Of
like
course.
It's like years of playing Smash Brothers. You still make the mistake of like Samus will do the giant blast at you, and because someone's attacking, your instinct is to roll away from them, be further away, but the ball just follows you. And, like years of playing, I'd be like, don't roll away from the blast. Don't roll away from the blast, like all the time.
Are you enjoying Smash, by the way? Did you get it?
Yeah, I did. I've streamed it a couple times. I'm really enjoying it. I'm trying to get to the Smash Elite on the Global Smash Power. I'm at around 3 million, and last I checked, it's at about 3.1, where you get to the Elite status.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get to there.
That sounds good.
I mean, they do it weird. The number they give is how many people you're better than.
Oh, okay.
So like, so once you reach like the top like X%, you're in the Elite status. So, but it doesn't actually tell you that information. Like, you need to constantly check online to find out where it is because it changes as people join.
Right.
So, like, I'm better than like 3 million Smash players that have played online, but like, I haven't reached that top 10% just yet. I'm close to them.
That's
That
fun. That was my
sounds
question, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
So
better
it's a
than
weird
3
metric.
million people who play this game.
So it's a weird metric, but I keep switching between players trying to figure out who I really want to be my main. But I'm having fun, and I just joined a couple people last night to play a couple of quick play matches.
Sure. Wow. That's crazy. Okay.
Oh man, Mike just said I'm only better than 3 million people, and what that inspired in me is like, compared to the billions on the planet, that's actually a really low bar. But like,
Right.
of the Smash community.
Yeah. Only. Only. So, everyone answered, right? We're not leaving anyone out?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. So, what is everybody's most anticipated game that's original? An original IP? I don't even know. I feel like it's like movies where I'm like, nothing's original.
Yeah, there's not many coming out. Like, I know there's a new Star Wars game, and it's done by the same people who did Titanfall.
Okay.
So that could be interesting, but I know nothing about it. I know Anthem's coming out soon, but to me that's probably going to fall in the maybe it's going to be overhyped thing. But I'm like, I'm hesitantly excited. Like,
yeah.
But like, I don't know of any IPs that are coming out personally that I'm like, yeah, this.
If this was a few years ago, I would have said Horizon Zero Dawn. That was like, it's an IP, like it's an original IP. How exciting! Like, and then ever since then, I'm like, I don't even know. Like,
yeah, I'm really excited for Cyberpunk 2077, but I think that's going to end up being next year. I don't think that's going to fall in 2019.
That game did look cool. I know
that would be that much like just Last of Us 2. That would be my list, but I don't think it's going to make 2019.
I don't know how much of an IP it is, but if you guys remember the from this year's E3, the Skull and Bones game, where it was like kind of Atlas, Sea of Thieves-esque, but it's that game looks super good, but I'm so worried about it now after the whole Atlas debacle, man. I'm very, very scared.
I would classify that as an IP because that company, that they haven't done those similar things. Other companies have also done it, but they're doing their own original.
Yeah, so how is it going to differentiate from Sea of Thieves? Because I thought from what I saw, it was very similar.
Isn't it a bit more realistic in its graphics? Like, Sea of Thieves is a bit more...
Like a few pixels, if I remember correctly. Like, it didn't look like really realistic.
The trailer I saw was much more realistic.
Okay.
Than Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
It almost looks like the gameplay looks like what Atlas, the trailer, is supposed to be like. It's just not obviously up on that cinematic level, but it's supposed to be more like RPG-based pirate combat, and you can... So think Sea of Thieves, but you can actually level up and you can get upgrades and you can upgrade your ship for defenses and cannons and all that. So very Atlas-esque, but not so much MMO. I think it's more just so RPG.
Yeah, so that one's Sea of Thieves. And we also want to compare it to... What's it called again? My brain just...
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones, thank you.
I like the potential level of strategy, too, in that you can play with other people online in a multiplayer and join a party. And so, like, the idea of one ship being... close range, heavy barrage, and another be more like artillery. And I think of course, with all these games, it's all potential, but there's potential to be a lot of fun cooperative or PvP strategies.
And they did say that they're focusing a lot on single player based too. So if you don't have that PvP, if you don't have a lot of people to play with, there's still going to be a lot of potential to just do solo, but we'll kind of see how that goes as well.
Yeah, this is very like Assassin's Creed-esque graphics, so it's definitely much more realistic.
I always love the trailers that are like, this was filmed on a console. It's like my favorite things.
Speaking of
filmed on an actual PS4 Pro.
Yeah, and then you're like, no, it's not. It was rendered on a PC. You're like, maybe played.
I personally hate cinematic trailers. I don't care that you can make a movie about a game. Show me the game.
Yeah. You want gameplay, you want UI, etc.
Yeah,
right?
I want to see what you're actually giving me, not the prettiest thing you can make related to it.
When we've been lied to too many times about what a game will be, that to base everything on a trailer is setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Like that happened with Witcher 3. They had gameplay trailer, but when the game came out, the gameplay didn't match that gameplay. And people were pissed. And it's like, first off, Witcher 3 is still a freaking gorgeous game. And second off, they're like, well, we started with these, but with the size of the world and everything it did, we had to scale things down to make it playable.
Yeah.
It's like at the time when the world was a fifth the size, these were the graphics we could render. We had to pull back.
Yeah.
So I can understand how gameplay trailers can also be misleading, but it still gives you a baseline to work with to some.
I really like cinematic trailers as a teaser, And then to like as an announcement, like we're working on this game, you know, to have like a cinematic trailer. And then, but then as the date gets closer, okay, I want to see gameplay. And then once I see gameplay, I'm like, oh, they're close. But now that's a lie too.
Yeah.
Because like Last of Us showed gameplay and then, meh. But yeah, no, I agree. I want to see the UI. I want to know what that looks like. I want to know what the gameplay is going to look like. But as a teaser, I like seeing cinematic trailers just because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ooh, what is it? Like at E3.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy. What is it? And then you hear the crowd, like, they're like, ah, they get all excited. And I'm like, I still don't know what it is. But they know. I think they know.
Yeah.
Like the Mortal Kombat trailer was really fun. But anyway. So what games are you guys like really wary about? Like what do you think is going to be way too overhyped?
I don't get
this
to
year?
talk about the games I'm anticipating.
No. Moving on. No, joking. Go ahead, Greg.
We still have the
Oof.
Sorry, I thought everyone went. Go ahead.
That I am... There's a wary excitement about the first one, but it's a game called Judgment. It seems to be a combination LA noir mystery plus kung fu movie, because it looks like it's bringing in like the Arkham style combat, but like in a combat movie. So it's way over the top from what I've seen already.
Yeah.
It's the sort of game that I think maybe would be perfect to stream on Twitch if you can get like, all right, guys, everybody, we're getting in here. We're playing this mystery kung fu movie together.
Yeah.
And if you can watch, your favorite streamer do it from beginning to end, it's going to be kind of an experience game, like joining your friends watching a terrible kung fu movie.
And it's called Judgment?
Judgment, yes.
And it's a MOBA?
No, it is
okay.
a Japanese third-person perspective. It looked like a mystery game. I think it's out.
Oh, it's by the Yakuza people.
Yes, that game looks super interesting.
That one.
Trailer in chat. Boom.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's one I want to keep my eye on for this year.
It sounds
Okay.
really interesting.
Graphics look good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that'd be
It
interesting.
looks like Sleeping Dogs.
A little bit. Yeah, that same.
Oh, it's is this by the same people that make oh god. I'm going to kill the pronunciation. Was it Yakuza?
Do it.
Yeah.
Yakuza?
That's
Yeah, the
what
same
Wolf
people.
said.
Oh, oof.
Got him.
Got
Sometimes
him.
things just, go over my
I'll just head out and get something.
It's all good. It's all good.
taking people's ideas,
But yeah, that's interesting.
Well, before we get to overhype, though, we still
Go
got to talk
ahead.
about like franchise games. Any franchise game type things we're looking forward to.
In
You
10
mentioned
minutes.
Star Wars earlier, and I'm a sucker for Star Wars. Like,
The Jedi Fallen Order.
yeah, they've released like no promotional material for it yet. But what I know already, according to a leak on Reddit, so grain of salt, it's going to take place about 5 years after the third movie, where they've killed off and a Padawan like escaped, and so following their journey into where's my place in the Force. So think, I'm blanking on the name, but the Star Wars game where the
Knights of the Old Republic?
no,
Jedi Academy.
I think Jedi Academy. I think mixed with the newer one with the crazy over the top force powers. Hopefully they dial it back a little bit. But there's always so much potential in a good Star Wars game, so I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Do you like the Battlefront games?
I like the original Battlefront games. That's part of the reason I'm also a little worried is that EA still has power over everything Star Wars right now. So
Unleash them, EA.
oh, Unleashed. That's the name of the more recent.
Oh yeah, Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I knew that.
Well done. So
Even better hashtag unleash them, EA.
I want them pulling back from that over-the-topness of Unleash, but there was a lot of cool powers and like playing as a Jedi. There are so many cool powers to bring forth and to get to play and control, and so
Jedi Academy 2 is still my favorite Star Wars game.
It's a good one.
I mean, the KOTOR games are really good as well, but I still like Jedi Academy 2.
I really enjoyed Knights of the Old Republic until my computer like glitched and I couldn't play it anymore. So I never finished it. My character would like run in place, like glitch, like it would just be like, and then it would. I was like, I can't get past this part.
No,
and
that
was back in the day where it was like that was
works as intended. You should have just kept.
I tried for hours to not work.
That was probably just EA putting you behind a paywall. You had to pay another $24.99 to finish the game.
Did EA own it way back when?
I'm just trolling.
Oh, I was just curious. I was just like, man, they've been trolling for years.
But
you actually had to get the DLC where you get the ending.
Anyway, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It's like the ninja version of Dark Souls. I'm really looking forward to that game. It's done by From Software, same people. It's just
the franchise.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really want to play that game. I'm excited.
Is that the one that was like showed at E3 and it looks gorgeous? Is that?
It's either that one or Ghost of Tsushima or whatever that is. There's two ninja games that came out. I think the Ghost one actually had a longer trailer, so I'm going to hesitant to guess that you're probably thinking of that one, but they
I think
have very similar aesthetics. It's just...
And it showed like the red trees, and it was really beautiful, and then there was like blood. Oh, well, colorblind. Okay.
I really like the direction From Software is going in making their protagonists more and more mobile.
Mm-hmm.
So like this game has like a grappling hook and like really improving the movement options, which I like.
Yeah.
Especially compared to like I love Dark Souls 1, but that game style of tanking up is immediately what I defaulted to, and so that they're pushing players to all right, let's move, let's parry, let's be aggressive. I like those changes.
There's a lot of interesting articles about people who played Dark Souls and like just didn't enjoy the game. There's the satisfaction factor just didn't exist. And then they played Bloodborne, loved it, went back to Dark Souls and loved it because Bloodborne doesn't give you the option of tanky.
Mm-hmm.
You always have to be agile, fast, quick on your feet. So then people would go back and build those kind of characters in Dark Souls, and for a lot of people it clicked then. Like, why so many people enjoy it is because they kept those, and the satisfaction of when you succeed is so much higher versus when you just tank.
Listen, I was quite satisfied with my character.
I was like, man.
There are people that were. It's just those interesting articles that like talk about it and like about the people who did these things and their takeaways and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, I agree. I'm excited for the better movement options.
I don't know any of these games that you guys are talking about. I feel so like.
Are you excited for like Resident Evil 2 remake? Are you one of those people?
No, I'm not.
Right.
I'm excited that other people are excited because they're going apeshit over.
I would like to be excited, but I never played RE2, so I don't have a.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they remade it, and it looks the graphics look really awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't even have an answer for this one, so I'm gonna go straight to what are we most worried about or think that like which game is way too overhyped? I do have an answer for this one, Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it's way too overhyped. And I'm really scared about it. I'm like really scared about it. And I would say Last of Us 2, but we're not sure if it's out this year. So otherwise I am like anxiety about Last of Us 2, but Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know. I just don't think, I think the wait is too long. Like, the people we were when we played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, we are not those people anymore. I don't know if it'll, like, even, like, still have the same excitement that Disney and Final Fantasy was.
I love me some Disney still.
I do too, but I don't know. Because now we're older and we're going to be like, this writing is just stupid now. Like, before we were like, whatever, yeah. god. But like now we've played so many other RPGs and like the times have changed. Ducky! And times have changed that I'm just like, I don't know if it'll keep up.
I mean, I can understand it to some extent. But I mean, at the same time, part of me is still like, I still watch and love like various TV shows or animes where the solution is still the power of friendship.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what that's what I'm worried about. Like Sora's gonna be like, I know the secret all along. It's all in our hearts. And I'm like, I'd say when I was younger, like that was awesome. And I was just like, fuck yeah. But now I'm just like, I don't know about this. Are we sure it's our heart? I think we've grown as people.
Mine's blackened over quite a bit. I'm not so confident in your
I
answer.
know.
Oh, you're heartless. That's what's happened.
Yeah, I'm like, where's Riku? Bring Riku back. I need a gray character here.
I get where you're coming from. At the same time, like, there are games that I love regardless of story. Like, I can sometimes block out the cheesy aspects. And I feel like any cheesy aspects of Kingdom Hearts 3 won't deter me from enjoying it.
Yeah. And I hope that's
Personally.
the case, because I do want to enjoy it. Like, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. Like, I want to enjoy it. I think I got burned because, like, at, I don't know, someplace, Comic-Con, I think, I was able to play Kingdom Hearts 3 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And I was, having played the little, like, demos or whatever they gave us, I was more excited for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and we all know how that turned out. So I'm just like, okay, well, now I have nothing exciting going on.
Still can't beat that game, by the way, Plat, on that deadly obsession.
Have you not beat it yet? You can do it. I believe in you. You're so close to the end.
What about anyone else? Anything else you think is overhyped or?
Mine. Oh, go ahead, GrayLord.
No, I've got two, so by all means.
The one that I'm excited, but I'm anxiously, wary on, but Anthem. It's one of those that it's just that game that we've heard about since like 2013 E3, where they did like, I think, or maybe 14, where they did like their first trailer. We hear all this stuff about it, and I was so hyped about it, and then Andromeda came out. And I trust BioWare with all my life, but Andromeda was just, it was just too much. So
Well, Anthem is slated to be their live or die game. If it fails, the company fails.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
So it has a lot of Destiny look to it, and I know it's a very different game from what I've read on it, but at the same time, it just seems like one of those that it's going to be, we're building all this hype on it, and then it either will just be a mediocre game or it will tank.
Yeah.
So,
I have a little bit more hope for Anthem than I did for Mass Effect Andromeda, because partly there was nothing Mass Effect Andromeda could do from the get-go that would have interested me plot-wise. Like, the premise alone started off with something I knew I would not care about. I wouldn't be invested in. So, like, that on top of, like, the gameplay issues, the graphic issues, just compounded itself. Where if you can have a really good story, I can be more lenient on some of those things as long as the game's still playable. So, like, I feel since Anthem doesn't start with that detriment in my eyes, the likelihood of it failing isn't as high. And again, this is just personal.
mm-hmm.
I watched the trailer for Anthem in preparation for this, and I was disappointed because they've jumped the shark in the trailer.
There was a shark in the trailer?
Yeah, there was, and they jumped it.
Wow.
Not to dive too much into what they announced the story would be. There's a MacGuffin that creates anything you want, and like it sounds like our job is to either get it or stop the enemy from getting it. And already with such a MacGuffin, like whoever has it already won. So how is there any conflict? So yeah, the movement looks really cool, and it reminds me of other games. I want to say Warhammer that came out last year. That the options seem pretty cool, but story-wise, I'm already like, So we'll see.
Yeah.
Gotcha. See, I hadn't heard about the story, but if it's just a fetch of the MacGuffin, that's pretty disappointing.
Well, and it might be more, the idea of a small band of survivors on this planet, and we're gonna together. But now I have an armor suit that lets me go anywhere, and I'm elite. And hold on, we've combined two different stories here, and I'm confused.
Yeah.
And Anthem is its own thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not attached
Yeah.
to anything else, and
Yeah,
yet
it's
it's
an
very
IP.
Destiny looking.
Yes, it's very
Okay.
Destiny looking,
Yeah,
and that's what
it gives
everyone's
that
comparing it to.
Got it. I think I remember seeing a trailer and being like, "Is this a new Destiny game?" So.
Hopefully, unlike Destiny, it doesn't suck. Come at me, chat. So, and what's your second game? Or was that not either one of your two?
That was neither one of my games.
Okay.
So my two, I have similar themes for why I'm worried about them, but for very different reasons. So Psychonauts 2, I'm worried about. Not because Psychonauts 1 was bad. I love Psychonauts 1, even though, of course, if you've played it, the circus level forced me to stop. Like, I just ground me out. If you, but the idea of diving into mines and using psychic powers, big fan of. Seeing those traumatic backstories on all the characters is great. But I'm worried about Double Fine. Since for the last 10 years, I've yet to play a Double Fine game again that I've been pleased with. They've all been kind of mediocre quality. And so I really want Psychonauts 2 to recapture the magic of 1. I'm worried.
What other games have they made?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
The last one I played was a tactical game called Massive Chalice, which, no, you're right, none of you have heard of, and there's a reason.
They made Broken Age. Broken Age was really good. That was recent.
I have heard good things about Broken Age.
I mean, Grim Fandango, but that's the 90s. Brutal Legend, which didn't do well.
Yeah, and they've been making games all this time, and this is the list we've come up with, guys.
Oh, they
And we're
did Gang
Googling it right now.
Ooh.
Gang Beasts is fun. It's not
Gang
like...
Beasts is a good-
And also
Yeah.
killed itself by changing its physics.
Yeah, they do... Yeah, they got a lot of just... Nah.
Meh, games.
Yeah, so I'm wary of it, but I have hope. You know, I want to have hope, I should say.
Sure.
They did Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster with Cookie Monster.
That's my favorite game of all time.
Honestly, I got
I mean-
the platinum in that, and I was super happy.
C is for cookie, and that's good enough for me.
There you go.
It's for cookie.
Oh gosh.
The other one I'm wary about is Rage 2. The reason I'm wary is entirely because of the first game. I played Rage 1. It's got this post-apocalyptic feel, these sweet boomerang-throwing weapons that are awesome. But, like, I just got bored. I sunk 20 hours into it, and I'm the type of gamer who I grab a game and I obsess over it. I'm going to play it every day for a couple of hours. It's the only thing I want to play. And, like, it just started, like, really dragging, and everything became boring. The combat, the driving around, the interaction with NPCs, and it was just like, oof. And so with Rage 2, I've got all those expectations going in. They are, in the trailer at least, they look like they're bringing in a Borderlands aesthetic. Let's make it more fun and wacky and post-apocalyptic, y'all.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have biomes instead of everything being gray and brown. Woo! And I'm like, all right, you're going to have to, like, it's going to have to do a lot to earn back all the goodwill that it lost.
That's fair. I feel like shooters have a hard time making longer play games that don't just fall off. Like, you kind of have to do, like, the Doom. You have to kind of almost do these over-the-top things, but do them really well.
Mm-hmm.
Where if it just becomes mundane, you're like, yep, I got another gun. What's it do? Oh, it just shoots bullets? Like,
Cool.
How dare a gun shoot bullets?
Gasp.
Oh, look, these bullets are bigger.
they do more damage, but it takes more damage to kill these things, so net gain nothing.
Yeah. That's interesting though.
Yeah,
I
never
guess
played
like all
Rage,
games are like that, right? Though? Like upgrading your weapons and stuff like that. And yet they're really just all guns. Besides like Ratchet and Clank, where you
But yeah, but that's the thing. Things like Ratchet and Clank, Doom, the guns get way more preposterous. Things like, he mentioned Borderlands. Like, the amount of types of guns and types of things you can do. Like, I remember playing Borderlands with my friends, and my friend had a gun that you could shoot your allies to heal them. and like my other friend had this uncanny ability to dodge those shots. So it was always dying because he just would like somehow bob and weave and just couldn't be healed. And so my friend was like, we're all playing online, my friend just yelling, "Let me shoot you!" And, like, but like, so you add enough of those interesting things, and like I haven't played Rage, but like if you don't, like it's just the same game for 40 hours, and you're just like, I don't care. Like,
sure. And there's not a very good like interactive or like story with Rage?
There is story, but it like as a person who loves story, I wasn't gripped by it. It's like after 20 hours, I'm like, oh, you've introduced an evil faction that has not affected me at all in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going back and forth between these areas with an absurd 5-minute load time. And
oh boy.
I'm going to go make a snack and not come back now.
I'm just going to load and close the game. How about that?
Or like, the Just Cause games where you have like the grappling hooks you can go around. Yep. And the most recent one coming out, just in a game that, again, it just eventually allows the most preposterous things. Like, you can like do like airdrops, but it'll look like a package this big. Then like an ocean liner pops out of it. So you can just like summon those on the enemy base. And like, but in promotion for the game, they got a bunch of streamers to like try to do cool stunt tricks. So one streamer like summoned like an ocean liner on the edge of a cliff, then dropped another ocean liner on the front end of that ocean liner to make like a catapult and tried to like launch a rock onto like this military compound. So like it's dumb, but it's just fun. Like like you gotta introduce those things to allow for player creativity to also make their own fun.
And that's an example where the story doesn't need to really necessarily be there. It's just for the fun of the playground and the sandbox and
exactly.
And the physics engine.
Yeah. Oh,
like if you sometimes you just need to give players enough things to work with, and like they'll have the most fun in the world for the longest time. Like So
well, after that raving review for Rage, y'all should go check it out. Well, I want to end on a bright note. So, what is your favorite thing of 2019 so far? What is something that has happened in the last 2-3 weeks that you're just like, this is good. This is my highlight so far.
The fact that they're remastering the Crash Team Racing.
Oh, there you go.
I've been a bit distracted in the hospital last week because my wife had pancreatitis and had to have her gallbladder removed.
That's right. She's doing well, though, right?
So I don't really have much I've been paying attention to.
Highlight, she's alive. Easy.
True.
Yeah, highlight, still married.
Still married after 2 weddings.
She's doing well. She's back home. She's learning what things currently she can eat. She tried some orange juice today. That did not go well. So,
Yeah.
But otherwise, things are going well. But I don't have a good answer for you otherwise. Not that they could get me down. It's just been like, been distracted that I haven't really been paying too much attention.
Highlight modern medicine. Easy. I think that's something to be pretty thankful for.
It is weird when you go to the hospital and they're like, pancreatitis. You're like, oh, sweet, it's not appendicitis. We don't need to like deal with that. And then like a couple days later, like, man, I wish it was appendicitis. That was just so much quicker and easier to deal with.
But great. I'm so happy. I would say my highlight so far has been my Vegas trip that I went to just recently. It was really, really fun. It was a joy to hang out with, although it was really different too, was to hang out with like 11 other girls, because I don't do that ever in my life. And so that was really different and exciting and just fun to be like girly for a weekend and then come back to all my lovely men. Back to the gaming community, like legitimately, like no one played games, no one knew what it was. It was funny, made me laugh. Almost no one drank beer. There was one other girl who liked beer.
You apparently need to leave chat.
Most of the people are men. Like, let's be real. But no, so it was fun. It was exciting. So yeah, that's my highlight.
That's fun. I have 2 highlights. I got a new job. It hasn't started yet, but I'm very excited. And the other thing I've really been loving playing some Get Wrecked Nerds on this very channel the day before we do the podcast. What?
What?
Yeah,
And they're getting wrecked. They are
getting wrecked. And I feel bad, but I did warn them. But we've been also having a lot of fun diving into this dungeon, trying to plunder its riches and trying to avoid being plundered ourselves. So,
Are people dead yet?
we almost, and by we, I mean I almost brought a player to death.
Oh.
I had knocked out 3 of them, but they keep teleporting in and dragging them to safety. So
You'll get them next time, GrayLord.
Didn't they party wipe once on this room, and now they're trying this room again? Like, is it?
they're fortunately so to catch everybody up to speed, they walked into a room.
So now you can watch the next episode. You'll be up to date.
Right, you'll be ready to go and join in with all the D&D fun. And if you don't know what D&D is, just ask questions and we'll do our best to answer them.
Last time on Get Wrecked Nerds.
They had a room filled with these goblin-like giant walls of muscle and a magic trap that if you walked in, 4 of them come to life and attack you. And so they decide to walk in, do a round of combat, and then go, hey, let's try and talk to them. So they then spend a round talking to them.
It was 2 rounds of combat because I was there before this all started, and I was like, "You guys could try talking." Like, none of us speak Goblin. I'm like, they might speak Common, and then like they just fucking attacked. And my favorite was Dragon Girl, who at one point was like, "Hey, can we talk?" Stab.
Oh yeah, she was like, "Can I ask them something?" And then depending on the response, stab them.
Then like the next round, she just like critically obliterated someone, just destroyed. There was like, so we're all friends, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then they start to run away and like they start to succeed and then it all goes south. The Dragon Girl lost her pet spider, which I guess technically is the first official death of the campaign. But they decided at one point to trigger all of them. I don't know why. So now they're fighting 16 bugbears, the goblin monsters, minus a couple, and it got real bad real fast.
So hold on. I missed the end of the stream. So I didn't know all the stuff that had happened, but I got a quick question.
Okay. They
have the ability to teleport one person at a time. Why didn't they just teleport to the other doorway? Why go through the room to begin with?
It was a misty step, so they didn't have as full range as the distance needed. But
okay,
they absolutely could have teleported into the room and not triggered any of the bugbears.
Okay.
But they didn't know.
They didn't know, and
they
that's
just thought they would go through a door and it'd be fine.
This is fine.
And well, that's rule number 1 with me. Never assume a door is safe.
Oh, I learned that. Doors are never safe.
However, it was still a wonderful time of coming together and facing this adversity, which I think is my favorite part about the whole idea of Get Wrecked Nerds is let's together try and overcome this impossible once upon a time adventure in a D&D system that is much more friendly.
It's essentially Shadow of the Colossus, but you'll actually die.
Like I'd like to say real quick, like as much fun as I have joking around, I'm not trying to rag on anyone. As someone who's played D&D a lot over like 17 years, as a DM, I've been like, why are players this dumb? As a player, I've been like, why was I that dumb? Like, it's much easier when you're on the outside to like look at and be critical.
Yeah.
I've done some of the dumbest things and immediately went, wow, why I could have just done that thing. Like,
there's so much variables going on, like real life, that you're just like, I don't know what to do.
And as a player, you never have perfect information. You only have what the DM gives you, and asking the right questions is, I mean, coming up with the right questions is hard, let alone asking them and remembering all the stuff. So no, I think obviously there were things that went really wrong, but I think they ultimately all survived, and that's the first step in winning in Get Wrecked Nerds is survive. So kudos to them so far.
Yeah, cool. All right, kidlins. This has been another episode of Valhalla's Most Wanted podcast. I just want to go around. You guys can tell everyone where you're at when you're not on this podcast, because you guys are awesome. And you can promote whatever you would like. So, Wolves, why don't you start it off? Tell people where you're at.
Twitch.tv/GrayWolvesGaming, Twitter, Wolves1226. I haven't been active too much recently on Twitch just because a lot of life's been happening. Hopefully that'll settle down and I'll be back to my regular. But otherwise, I'm always around in Discord, chat, things like that. Love you.
For me, I am the GrayLord on Twitch, GrayLord Gaming on Twitter. I am temporarily, as I adjust to my new job, taking a hiatus from Twitch, other than Get Wrecked Nerds, which you can see every other week on Saturday, the next one being the second, bi-weekly or bi-monthly, as you want to confuse yourself, bringing it all the way back around. Yeah, and that's where you can find me.
TotallyCereal.
And I am TotallyCereal, Twitch TV/TotallyCereal, and then Instagram and Twitter at iTotallyCereal, like an iPhone, but. And this is my annoying pupper that likes to bark a lot, so if you like pupper pics and like seeing pics of my wiener right here, then I would recommend following me on said social media platforms.
I'm a big fan of wiener pics, so, I mean, I'll be there.
Yes.
And I'm PlatinumTrophyWife. You can see me almost Monday through Friday, late as always, for streams. So until next time, guys, 2 weeks from now, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.